broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, welcome to the SVU After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes. You can subscribe there and SoundCloud. Let me introduce my lovely panel. I'm Yael Tygiel. For those who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm joined by DJ Jesse J. What's up?
That's my Law and Order dance.
I love
Every
it.
time it comes on, I get so excited.
Yeah, we have really 2 episodes to talk about, SVU and Chicago PD, which there is no after show for. I'm really glad there's no after show for it.
Me too.
Because we'd have to fight with them.
Well, no, because I was actually a little just since the rest of our panel couldn't be here. I was like, I wish we did have so we could have a
bring them?
crossover.
Crossover after show?
That's creative.
All right, well, before we jump into this crazy, crazy story, I need to warn everybody. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do this the opposite way than we usually do. I'm going to give everyone a hotline first. If you or someone you know, calm
Sorry,
down.
someone I know is really excited about that hotline.
If you or someone you know is in need of some help or is in a bad situation, we have a hotline for them. It is the Rape and Incest National Network. The number is 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-4673. And the reason we bring this up is especially because of this after show where we take very serious topics like, you know, this episode and make awful, awful jokes because sometimes life gets so dark that the only way to survive is to make light of it. Right?
I mean, that's my way of life.
Awesome. And Jesse's going to try to be in the chat roll with all of you. So if you're in the chat roll and you're live there, welcome. Jesse's got you covered.
I'm talking with y'all.
Awesome.
And I'm totally claiming what's his name from Chicago.
No,
PD, even
no.
though Yale's so mad at me.
Oh my God, you
With the Batman voice.
No,
Olivia.
dibs! I already called dibs! It's the worst day ever. Okay, let's jump into this story. For those who don't remember who Greg Yates and Carl
could you
Rudnick...
forget?
Well, it's been... Okay, so Gregory Yates was in the crossover and then came back for the Carl Rudnick story. And so I feel like it's been so long, even though it's this season. Carl Rudnick was the beginning of this season.
Yeah. I don't. That's why I'm saying. I mean, how can you forget? I mean, they were just such creepy characters.
So Dr. Gregory Yates, I'm just going to give quick... Just because was the prime suspect in a series of rapes, kidnappings, and murders in New York, Illinois, North Carolina, New Orleans, and Jersey. And we met him in the big SVU Chicago PD crossover that happened when we really fell in love with Detective Lindsay, and, you know, it was the brunettes and the green nail polish, and then we brought him back later, and the green nail polish still has not been explained.
And they brought it back again.
Yeah, it like really bothers me because they make a big deal out of it and then they explain why he chooses the women he chooses, but they don't explain the green nail polish.
Well, maybe we should go back to when they showed the picture of his mother younger. Maybe she had
green nail polish.
That's not something I was paying attention to, but that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so Carl Rudnick, for those who... This one, I'm like, how do you forget Carl Rudnick? Because he was Dr. Carl Rudnick. He was the deputy chief medical examiner for Manhattan, and he was Warner's boss. That's the crazy part. He was also a cross-dressing serial killer and rapist. He was the Robert Durst-inspired character, which is the guy from The Jinx, which Lauren came and talked all about. So if you don't remember what I'm talking about, go check out the after show for his episode.
Well, I wasn't there for that.
I know. Go check it out.
Oh, okay. You looking at me like, bitch, you was here? You ain't remember?
No, you weren't here. You definitely were not here.
Thank you.
And then they were family friends, and they helped each other out. And now we meet them, and they're both in jail. Okay, so because it was 2 episodes that make one giant story, we're not going to really break down the story It was very complicated. But we're going to talk about a few things. Let's talk about the prison break.
Okay. Well, before we do that, how did you feel about the first initial interaction, like when Yates had came into
what is
the
conflict resolution class? That's what it was.
All right. Actually, before that, what was in your mind when the woman was making the lasagna?
Oh,
where did you think the story was going to go when you saw that?
I'm really upset at the promos because I think I would not have picked up on the fact that they escaped if I hadn't seen the promos for this episode.
True.
Right? When they're following, what was it? It was when Carisi and Rudnick go into Rudnick's cell, and Rudnick is acting very weird. Had I not known about the escape and the fact that the poster goes through the wall.
When he looked at the poster and he got nervous
and he was only shaking with one hand and he was being very weird. Had I not seen the promo, that would have been so much bigger of a twist. And I would have been so surprised. But because I knew what was going to happen, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, okay, I can totally see that. When I saw that part with the lasagna thing, I was just like, where is this about to go right now? Like, who is she? How is she tied into this?
Right, do you guys not remember? She's the bitch who helped William Lewis escape.
Well, I remember
and they said that. They said that, but I was like, who is this bitch? And I don't use that word a lot, but that woman's a bitch. You disagree?
No, I totally agree. I think she's psycho and easily manipulated, and she should not be teaching classes on conflict resolution.
Well, I mean, what's weird is I don't know that she is psycho or that she is easily manipulated. I think she's one of those people that falls in love with convicts. The way that, there are women who write to convicts and then they fall in love and then
So you felt like she was in love with him?
I think she is one of those crazy people, different type of crazy, that, believes that she can help them and whatever.
Hanan said, told you guys, promos give blue balls. That's so true.
I disagree. I think usually the promos, right? Up until this episode, every promo has been the first 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, because that townhouse one, that promo got me. That was a great one.
And then the one where Noah went missing, and I was joking that it would just be 10 minutes of it, and then that's all it was.
Yeah.
And then we have this one, which is the complete opposite promo. It gave out the entire story.
Yeah, it did. And even with the breakout scene, we didn't even get that. And
yeah, I would like to see them do it.
It was just, I would have liked to have seen them do it. I would have liked to have seen, I just felt like the interaction between Yates and Rudnick was weird to me. It was like, okay, I get it. Yates knows that Rudnick is this, meeker man, and he can pray over him and make him do what he needs to do. But one, how did he figure out what his plan was and what he was doing?
Yeah.
I would have liked, there's just a couple little things that you didn't have to fill all the answers out, but I would have liked one or two of them so I didn't notice how many holes were in the episode.
Yeah.
Because it was a kind of a holy episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say though, the drone thing was freaking cool.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the drones because you did some research.
Yes, I did.
You're pulling your weight on this panel.
You know what I mean? But I just felt like their interaction was odd from that meeting to then when we see him in the, what were they calling it? The honor block. Yeah. The honor block.
I don't believe that's a thing. I mean, it must be. But I
do think it is a thing because my friend be calling me from jail sometimes.
Jesse.
Well, he'd be FaceTiming me, and I'm like, how are you FaceTiming me and smoking a blunt? And are you cutting someone's hair?
Okay.
I'm just saying. But, so, my question is, we had 2 hours. I don't know if they're trying to focus heavily on the background of the police story.
Right.
So much on SVU to get people into Chicago PD, but I would have really liked to have seen more depth between the evil characters. I felt like we're watching these people have so much, history and animosity with this man, and we know of him and what he's done, but I want to feel like that. You know what I mean? I feel like they shoot the show so dark and so gritty But then they don't ever really take us there. It's just like almost like a Disney ride of highlights of things like, hi, this person was murdered here. This person was like, okay, wait, can we stop and like learn about that?
What's interesting is I think that the second episode did play darker.
Yep.
So look, my biggest complaint, and before I go on with this, I loved this.
Yeah.
To be clear, loved this.
And how seamless it went into
it was very clearly one story, whereas usually it's here's part one, here's part two. But my complaint is SVU was overrun by Detective Erin Lindsay. It was her story.
Yes.
We even had, when Dodds was shot, we then watched her run around. I went, she's not Olivia. I don't want to watch her.
Question to you guys in the chat.
Yeah. I'm afraid of what you're going to ask.
I know you are. But I really had to ask. I was like, are they thinking about either making her the Olivia of their show?
No.
Or are we going to get a crossover episode where she comes to SVU and is a part of the SVU team? Because honestly, I don't ever see Rollins now. After last week, I know I said that they could be building it up.
Yeah.
I even went back and watched some older episodes just to get into it again. I don't see it happening for Rollins, especially with the baby right now. I think an incident.
I disagree. I think they're building Rollins up to be the new Olivia. I think we've given her all these different storylines. I think specifically this one, seeing her and how much Yates only likes her and talks to her. It's a very Olivia situation that we had in like the first seasons of the show. So I think we're definitely setting her up and having her, be benched because she's too close to the case and whatever. That's so like season 2 and 3 Olivia. So I think absolutely we're setting her up. I think Lindsay is the Olivia of PD. That as someone who's only seen crossover episodes.
Yeah, I've never
and Voight and Lindsay's relationship is very father-daughter and very I love him and he's mine, and I think that they have a different dynamic, but their show is also less about the actual crime and more about the relationships,
which is so interesting that SVU took over the relationship part of the story, where Chicago, it got like
all the crime. Yeah, and I agree with you that we should have seen more about this relationship with Rudnick and Yates in jail, especially because the last time we saw them, they sat down to talk, and it was very awkward and weird, and I wanted to see that relationship blossom because that to me was the most interesting part, was the two of them and what that dynamic is.
Okay.
I found that more interesting than them breaking out. And then the entire second half storyline of why he's going after Nellie and his parents and the adoption. At that point, I went, I think you guys are just pulling at straws here. Yes?
There was, in the Chicago PD episode, I'm not going to lie, the last, maybe when we got 30 minutes in, wait, where are we? Because, all right, we get the point.
Yeah.
I realized, like, I needed to know more about these killers. You built them up to be Joker. You built them up to be these superheroes, super villains. And here I am getting damn Erin Lindsay and Olivia. Although I do got to say, one of my favorite scenes was when they sent Erin in to go talk to Nellie. And Olivia was like, I'll do this one with her. And Olivia used her rape powers. She'd just be like, but did you say? And it's just such a different tone, like music. It's Olivia when she goes into her voice. That's what made me feel like, oh, does Olivia have like a mother-daughter situation with her? Kind of?
So because Voight has this paternal thing for Lindsay, and we saw when we were looking for Lindsay's brother that they went undercover as a couple looking for their son. That was the same episode?
That was
when they were looking for Teddy, Lindsay's brother. That was when I was like, oh, they're a little happy family. I don't like it. I want her with Tucker.
Okay. Because you want Voight for yourself.
I mean, I also would like Tucker for myself. Can I have Tucker and Voight? Oh my God, I'm Olivia. I'm so confused. First
world problems.
SVU problems. I wanted to talk about the warden just for a quick second. For those who don't know, that's Janedy Smith, who is one of the most amazing performance artists in the history of performance art.
Wait, who?
Janedy Smith.
And they do what?
She is a performance artist.
Okay.
She's just an amazing performance artist and also an actress. And so to see her...
Oh, she was in this?
She was the warden.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my God, it's Janedy Smith.
But wait, what else was she in? Because I was really looking at her like...
I've seen her before.
Yeah.
She's Janedy Smith. I don't know how to spell that. Janedy Smith. Okay. So, and just a shout out to Sarah Bisman Storm, who played Bronwyn Wilkins, the bitch who let them out.
Oh.
What kind of name? Sorry, Bronwyn really upset me.
I'm so mad at how quickly they were able to like put... But what was your first name? But what was your real name? What was your maiden's name and this? And
yeah.
No.
It's Bronwyn.
Right.
I'm sorry. Her name is Bronwyn. How many Bronwyns are in the world? To the chat roll.
How many Bronwyns?
How many Bronwyns and what kind of name is Bronwyn?
They said, how simple-minded was the warden? Hanan said that.
Yeah. Okay, so Dodds gets shot because Lindsay, what an idiot. Stupid girl. Like, let's stay here and wait for backup. No, instead I'm going to run alone in the woods, trip, lose my gun and flashlight, then go after this murderer.
And then when I find the house, instead of saying, oh, here it is, let me go get backup.
Right.
Let me go inside.
Yeah. It was stupid. But so for those who didn't watch the second half for whatever reason, that's when we find out that Dodds is fine.
Yeah.
Like, that really upset me.
You know what's so funny is you guys last week were like, I can do without baby Dodds. I can do without baby Dodds. And
then he gets shot and we were sad?
Well, maybe you were. I wasn't. But no, I've never like... Because we've seen so many people come in and out of the show that I'm still like on the defense of like, okay, maybe I'm gonna warm up to him. Mm-hmm. But when he got shot, it was just really like I went back to last week with you guys and I was just like, oh yeah,
we're not attached to him. And also, the only reason I was interested about him getting shot was I wanted to see Lindsay like feel bad because that was her fault.
But she really didn't have remorse at any point?
No, she felt bad about Nadia the entire 2 hours.
Yeah.
She felt bad about everyone after he escaped for some reason. And then she felt bad for the dad at the end. I was like, I'm okay with the dad dying. But we didn't know him.
We didn't know him.
And at that point, I'd lost interest because of this whole adoption storyline really upset me.
Hanan, stop talking about, she said, when baby Dodds got shot, I thought that was how his character ends.
Yeah, me too.
What? Come on, they're going to...
I was really...
That'd be really epic, though, for SVU period to kill a lead character in a double crossover episode.
That's true. And they have never done it. That would have been real original.
It kind of would have been, actually.
That would have been good.
How'd you like the little ode to Big Dobbs?
Oh, let me name drop. My daddy is special. Right. I'm sorry. Everyone knows how much I love Peter Gallagher, who plays Papa Dodds. Can we have him back? Can we just have him instead?
I mean, I'm here for that.
Yeah. Papa Dodds. It's like pizza, only better. No? Okay.
Well, and everyone agrees with you in the chat. No one likes baby Dodds. Sorry, Dodds.
My apologies to Andy Carl, the actor. Although Carisi really stepped up this episode.
Yeah. I think he's one of my favorites. Oh.
Here's the problem, is that when we met him, I was like, I hate him, I don't like him, and I hate that they're going to make me love him. And in these episodes, I went, damn it, I love him.
Yeah, his connection with the gay character was just like...
With Rudnick?
Yeah, it was just... It was beautiful in a sense of like... You don't really know where his mind's at. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, as an actor, you can tell he's acting out. He doesn't really know where this person's mind at. But he wants to believe that this person is, has a good heart.
Yeah.
And the most telling scene to me, though, is because obviously the boat scene, we saw him, he said, don't shoot. But when he was Rudnick was in the hospital, and he was holding his hand, right when he gave him the answer.
Yep, he was done.
The way he ripped that out was
great.
It was, because that
Peter
was great.
Scanavino.
Yep.
I also was, okay, and this, maybe it's too soon, maybe it's not, I'm going to ask the stupid question. When we had Rudnick on the boat, the way they shot it and the way that we were looking at it, did that not remind you of the Boston Marathon Killer? He was found, there was that whole standoff where he was in somebody's boat in their backyard.
Yeah, but wait, did they use the infrared?
They used in Boston?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
To me, what got pulled apart from this episode was the technology. Seeing Liv Skype in, FaceTime in, or then the FaceTime with Yates, and then this one. Because at first I didn't get what they were doing with the iPad at first, and I was looking at it and you could actually see it. So my mind wasn't there. I mean, I can see because of the boat and
just the way
how the situation was,
and then the shots.
The way they were.
What did you think about all the news coverage giving us the story?
I loved it, actually. And I thought that directing of this episode, because what was it more heavily? Well, I guess it was through both of them. I loved it because of where they placed him.
The news, I think, was more heavily in the first one.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, we were at the press.
That's what it was, press thing.
The press conferences.
I loved it because they put it right at the top coming back from commercials. So
you thought you were watching the news.
Yeah, and I had it on DVR, so I'm fast forwarding, and I fast forward through, and I'm like, oh wait, that's Yates on that. Wait a minute, hold on, wanted for what?
Yeah.
I thought it was so well done. The texture of the film that they used, it made me feel like I was watching like a 90s Oh, no, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought this was a great episode. And I wish I went back and paid attention, but did they have 2 directors for each episode?
I don't know.
Because
take it to the chat. Chat, answer the question.
It was shot seamlessly. Like, I feel like this is going to be something new for shows because I'm into Chicago PD now. Now I will start to watch it because I get a little taste of the characters. Well,
yep.
You know, I mean, you get a little taste of all the characters, but at the same time, you get the real tone of the show.
I have the answer. No, the director of the SVU episode was Alex Chappell, and I don't know who directed the other one.
Another thing is wait a minute, because they're talking about baby Dodds in here.
They have something to say?
Hanan is saying Baby Dodds is not on next season.
So
I remember
I was pulling out the promo. So he is still a special guest star. Okay. He is not a series regular or recurring. I don't know the technical terms. He's just not a series regular. I believe he's here for an arc. I don't think he's staying full time unless we love him, which we don't. We being everybody, not just us. Right. My opinion means nothing because otherwise Donald Logue would still be on the show. That's Rollins' baby daddy for those who don't know who I'm talking about. And I tweeted out, they tweeted out a poster about announcing the 18th season, and he wasn't on it, and then somebody pointed out that they just took a poster from this season and wrote, like, we've been renewed on it. So, you know.
Well, we'll see next season.
Yeah, actually.
Michael Grossman directed Chicago PD episode. Well, great job to both the directors because it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Oh, it was like a cinematic piece of TV.
Yeah. Like, honestly, and not to bring it to anything else in comparison, but I got to say what Ryan Murphy's doing with the O.J. Simpson show, how he mixes in some of the news clips and stuff like that, it brought me to that, and I just really kept noticing where they were placing them, and it was just done so well. So congratulations, because that kept me going into the next episode of Chicago.
Good. All right, before we move on, I need to take a moment.
Okay.
I need to take a moment and thank everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to everyone live in the chat. Thank you to everyone on iTunes. We clearly love the show so much that we are happy to talk about it every week right here for you guys. We ask you to do very simple things. Go to iTunes, hit subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. We are also on YouTube and SoundCloud, as I said. But on iTunes, if you like us, leave us a rating and a review. That's right. If you like us, that's 5 stars. If you don't like us, that's 4 stars. And fun fact, the other stars, They don't work.
They don't.
So just leave a comment letting us know what we're doing well, what we could be doing better, and we'll read your comments, your reviews live on the air. You gonna pull that up? We're gonna read them live right here. You pulling it up? Okay. So we're gonna read it right here because that's what we do for you. We give you a shout out. Should I keep going?
Keep going. We're almost there.
Guys, we really appreciate it. We love that you would take the time, and this is what we want to do for you because it does take you 30 seconds, a minute, depending on what language you want to put it in, to write down the reviews.
And we appreciate it.
And we do appreciate it. That's why we will do anything we can, which is literally read it out.
You totally need to be on like HSN or something.
Because I can keep going?
Yes.
I can keep going. It looks like we have them any minute now if we can make them a lot bigger. Oh, nope. Okay. Keep going. Make them bigger. Make the screen bigger so that I can read them from this distance.
No, I think we've read all of them so far.
There's nothing new?
No.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for
Someone was
tuning
rude
in.
and put a 1-star, but you know.
No, that doesn't work. That's not real.
Huh?
Nope, it doesn't work. Stars 1 through 3 don't work, guys. It's 4 or 5. Anyway, so
baby Dodds.
I apologize. Write us a review and we'll read it live on the air. I can't see that, so I can't read it.
Don't know what it
Do you want
says.
me to read it for you, Yael?
What's the date on it?
No, and that's what I'm saying.
January 29th.
We read that one. I'm pretty.
Did you?
Read it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, with your sexy voice.
Okay, here's my sexy voice. Here I go. Sibesh. Sorry if I butchered that one. Give you 5 stars. If you love SVU, you will need to subscribe. I've only been listening the past 4 shows. It's great to listen to before you watch the newest episode because they don't spoil all of it, but just give you an idea of it. I love Law, and therefore I love the show. Keep up the great show, you guys.
Oh, thank you. That's new. That's totally new.
Okay.
God,
I thought Lauren had read that.
No.
Okay.
I hadn't heard
My
it.
bad.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Marissa, for reading that. Next time, we'll be prepared. I promise. That's a lie. I'll try. Okay.
Hey, I was semi-prepared.
All right. You have some stuff you want to tell us about.
Yeah, so like I said, I thought the technology in this episode was really cool, and the drone thing threw me for a loop, y'all. I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah, at first I was really excited, and then I thought about it. Right? Like at first I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I thought about the fact that someone's droning over prison inmates. And I went, oh, ish. Like, that's not good.
You know the show The Blacklist, I think it's called? It reminded me of like something like that. Like Yates is like this like man who can control whatever on the outside. And so obviously we saw last week that this is going to be a tunnel. And in this one I was just like, you know, we hadn't seen the tunnel at that point. We saw the poster and assumed.
But we hadn't seen them escape yet.
Right. So when the drones came, it was like, what is about to happen? Like, Liv is in there. Like, is this about to turn into The Walking Dead?
Did you think it was, what did you think was in the box?
An explosive.
I also thought it was a bomb. That's why I was like, oh, interesting. Oh, wait a second. What if it's weapons?
Yep. Or I did, and then... Or when Olivia was like, lock the thing, she was like, and then that person banged on the door. I was like, what if it's guns? And like, now it's going to turn into like, they're stuck in the prison and crazy. So I was like, pause the show. I had to Google. I was like, let me get something for the after show. So apparently this has happened, and not too long ago. It was last August in Maryland, actually. They found these 2 drones. They actually never made it off of the ground. But so they were on a back road. These 2 guys were on a back road to the prison. And as they were getting ready to drop these boxes of condoms, porn, tobacco, and weed.
Right. See, that's the kind of thing I thought would be in there.
And cash. But it didn't make it up, so they caught them. But then I guess it stemmed from, they said Ohio.
Yeah.
So that's where it stemmed from originally, is that the original first drone that was going to go in it had 14 grams of tobacco, had basically like an ounce of weed, and a whole lot of porn. So these drones are just trying to, you know what I mean, make people happy.
Really? Nothing with weapons?
No weapon. Well, in the cases that I saw, we did.
No
in the real
weapons.
cases, there were no weapons inside.
That's so
Things
weird.
like that you could make, like, I guess, shanks out of, but there was
Right.
no guns that I saw
Yeah.
in the accounts that I Googled and looked up.
In this episode, I like that when they saw the gun and saw how small it was, they're like, well, we're putting on the gloves now because they had to go digging for them. Oh, man.
Yeah, and then did you ever assume it was going to be a Nurse Jackie is where Anna Devere Smith
Oh,
saw it.
yeah.
That's where I was thinking. Did you assume it was going to be a head, a brain, a hand, or...
Not in the drones, but when the package was delivered to Lindsay and they had to check that it was a bomb, I was like, that's clearly the woman's hand,
Oh.
right? Like,
Yeah.
he took her hand. Clearly that's what it is. I really don't like when bad guys leave notes for the cops, unless they're trying to do, like, I'm smarter than you puzzles. I like those kind of stories, but when it's not that, I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
like, see you at home.
Yeah, like, why are you tempted? Like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
You're asking to be caught and not in the fun way.
Right.
It was anyway. I just don't like when that happens.
I totally agree with you.
Okay. I feel like there's so much more of the episode that we needed to talk about.
I'm literally going to post this in the chat room for you guys to look at this, just so you can, like, laugh at
What? The drones thing?
the drone thing.
Okay.
I can't put it in there.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to tweet it out.
Okay, tweet it out. I feel like there's so much that we need to talk about, but guys, I really want to tell you some real SVU news. So let's go to news and gossip. Okay.
AfterBuzz
Thanks.
TV News.
Okay, because I saw this story and it blew my mind, and I sent it to you.
Oh.
Because I was like, what?
I actually,
the F?
I can't find it. I tried to go back and find it, but I couldn't. So
The
wait,
article?
what is this article that
The-
you posted?
okay.
And I saw that there was a big reaction to it online.
Okay. The headline is NYPD not responsible for SVU detectives who sexually assaulted a drunk rape victim, says city.
The SVU detective.
Okay, so let me tell you the
Raped.
story. 2 SVU detectives. So frustrating. They sexually assaulted a rape victim.
Okay.
And the city says that the NYPD is not responsible for their actions. Right? It's mind-blowing. Let me...
The people in the special victims unit who are specially trained to
Yep.
help rape victims aren't responsible for
the
raping
people
a
are.
victim.
The police department is not.
No, you hired somebody.
Okay, wait.
to
Let me
be-
read this
okay.
to you. So we have... All right. New York City is denying responsibility after 2 Manhattan SVU detectives, Skarzowski and Lamboy, so 2 SVU detectives, took a rape victim on a 10-hour bar crawl, brought her back to a hotel room where she woke up being groped by one of the detectives.
I can't.
Okay, the detectives were not acting under the color of state law because the victim does not allege sufficient fact to find plausibly that they invoked the authority of the NYPD when they engaged in the conduct prohibited by NYPD. The NYPD does not have an obligation, this part real upset me. The NYPD does not have an obligation to train officers not to commit sexual assault because it is an obvious criminal act. So because NYPD does not train their police not to commit a crime, because they should know that, the NYPD is not responsible.
I don't even know how to respond to this.
Okay, it gets worse.
What?
The 25-year-old victim is suing them and the city for $3 million after the detectives flew out to Seattle in early July to interview her about being raped. Because she was raped in a Union Square apartment in January last year.
And they flew out when?
They flew out on July 5th, it seems.
January to July.
Yeah. They flew out to Seattle. The day following their interview, they took her on a 10-hour bar crawl and convinced her to come back to their hotel room to sleep. She alleges she woke up at 10 a.m. by one of the detectives who was groping her for a full hour and attempted to tear off her clothes. She also claims that he told her that she was his favorite victim and that what he was doing couldn't leave the room. Yep. In her suit, the victim's lawyer argues that the NYPD failed to establish guidelines, train, or discipline its officers of sexual police misconduct. So her lawsuit is, hey, NYPD, you're responsible because you didn't train your police not to rape.
I think she's losing because of wording. Hey,
absolutely.
New York, I would say that you guys are responsible because you hired people and did not train them properly or have them pass a test that would allow you to understand that they don't know that raping someone and telling them that they're their favorite victim is wrong. So I don't know how you feel you've trained that cop to go out into the field and decide that for other cases. So I can't even put the pieces together. I can't even put a sentence really together.
It gets worse.
What? No, it doesn't. How does this continue?
Okay, so both of them...
And she's only suing for only $3 million?
I know. Both of them admitted to departmental changes of prohibited conduct. They were both demoted, transferred out of SVU, and suspended.
Oh, so they can go rape someone somewhere else.
Neither were fired. One of them has since retired, which means that he got all his retirement benefits.
I'm done.
Yeah. How? I read it and went, this has to be a joke.
No, absolutely not. And like, who said this? Hog342, next year episode for sure.
Oh, yeah, it better be. Although there are a lot of episodes that we have... I mean, I like to bring up real SV news here because we live in a sad, sad world. And all I can think is, when are they going to make this episode? I want to see Olivia, with her death stare, take down these detectives.
Oh my gosh, and imagine if one of them is someone that we know.
It's never someone that we know. Okay.
Maybe that's how Baby Dodds gets that. No,
that's
just
awful.
kidding. I don't want that for him.
I would really like that for him.
I know you would.
All right, let's take it to predictions. We should have a predictions dance.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I didn't see the promo for next week.
I didn't either.
Okay, because it just literally commercial went into...
It went straight into the other episode.
So hopefully we get an episode because I know how SVU...
Yeah, so I don't know if there's one next week. I don't know what it's about. I know that it...
Well, wait, because let's go back to last week's where we saw Olivia on the phone.
With some mystery man.
And then we saw the wine drinking.
And this one she was drinking again. I also caught it because you all put it in my head that she's going to drink now. Jerk.
It's so fun. That's actually really why I went back. Now I went back to go rewatch episodes, so I put it on right before I go to bed. But
yes.
Because I want to go back and I'm like, I really want to get into this. Like, I want to see her with her drinking problems. But I want to see it add up. Like, I really want to... Are we going to go there? I know we're not, but...
We might. I mean,
not
Kraken was an alcoholic.
That I want it to be.
Oh, yeah, no. Because you like ratchet shows.
Yes. I'm the Ratchet King.
Yeah.
I like reality.
But like specifically ratchet reality. All right. I think if we take aside the entire case and just talk about the people, we can make some predictions. We can predict that we're going to see Dodds back at the squad and then be like, oh, good to see you. It's been X amount of weeks.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
That's how they're going to pass it by. I think...
Or Rollins is going to come in with like a 3-year-old shot.
That'd be great.
4 years later. Well, it wouldn't be 4.
If it was 4 years later, then I'd hope Dodds is gone by then. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I hope it's not 4 years because 4 years from now, I would hope Olivia has moved on. I'm just worried for her health at this point. Like, she makes me nervous a little bit.
Because of the drinking?
The drinking and, like, the baby and how intense the baby and important the baby was last season. And then it's like...
Well, the difference
now
is...
it's all about Rollins and the baby. And it's like, well, you guys put all this emphasis on
Yeah, but
Olivia.
it
with
was a baby before, now it's a toddler,
Yeah.
right? So what
So he's
she
like a
has,
preschool
and is a
one.
preschool, and he's got Lucy, and now it like can talk and whatever. Whereas,
But isn't that intriguing to you? Like,
wrong person.
I know. Yeah.
So,
But
no.
even the fact that she's been like kidnapped twice, like raped, and like
Yeah.
she goes through all this stuff. Like, how does she handle?
she drinks.
Well, yeah. There's no winning here with
Yeah.
that. What do y'all think in the chat? Does anyone care? Sorry.
I liked seeing Barba in this episode.
Yeah.
I love him. I'd like to see more of him. That's all I'm gonna leave that there. I want to know who was on the phone.
Yep.
But I feel like that's gonna be in like 4 episodes.
People in the chat were saying, "What if it was Voight?"
So we had theories about Voight, and we had theories that it would connect to this episode. I don't remember what we said, but I remember it being very clever. So
Yeah.
go back and watch our last after show where
Yeah.
I said something clever, I'm sure. And I like the idea of it being Voight, but what does that mean for her and Tucker? Tucker's in town and Voight's not.
Yeah, with Tucker.
Do the Voight voice?
Yeah, you know, because I'm here for Chicago meanie. With Tucker, though, I look at it like that's who I hope it is, because I feel like after the town episode.
I just got a prediction.
What?
Okay, sorry guys, this just as you
This
saw.
just in.
This just in. Okay, so if she and Tucker are this, it's a slow, very, hold that thought, very taking it slow dance between the two of them, making small moves, and she's building this drinking problem. Tucker's IAB, right? So we're gonna end up with some situation where he has to step in, and she's gonna be like, Tucker, you know me. This isn't
next
a thing."
week's episode.
What?
They're telling me that, and there was a preview. It's on YouTube.
I'm sure there
Can somebody
was.
tweet it to me, you guys?
Yeah, tweet it at us, please. I like predicting without seeing it because
No, I do. Now I'll be excited to
Yeah.
watch the promo for it.
But
Keep
you
going.
know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I see
he's gonna
that.
have to step
Yep.
in because it's getting out of control, and he's IAB, and so he's gonna have to talk to her, and she's like, "You know me, that's not me. I don't have a problem," and they're gonna get real intimate. Oh yeah, I want that. Also, if we could have Rollins' baby daddy come back to see the baby, I'd be okay with seeing Donald
Would
Logue.
also make sense,
Donald Logue.
you know?
And if we're going to keep name dropping Papa Dads, let's bring him back.
Thank you. That's definitely was a prediction of mine that it was brought up in the episode. I feel for a reason.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, well, yeah, it was the first episode. It was the SVU episode that he brought it up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because they were at the, they were
Okay,
still...
because I didn't know, are they going to try and cross him over into Chicago?
No. He was talking to the warden.
So, I mean, I'm excited for that. The Tucker situation, I'm kind of feeling because of the townhouse situation. He had to come into town. That
Yeah.
was the person she called. Maybe something's been happening in between or since
Yeah.
that moment. He's just wanted to check up on her, and that was
Right.
his little checkup thing. And like you said, he's going to come back. He might see a glass out somewhere.
Right.
Or, you know, maybe they go out to eat, and he notices she had a little too much. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited. I hope that's what did promos. Did we see that in the promo? Did we see any sort of like?
No, don't tell us. Don't tell us.
Look at Yael's red. She's so excited.
Yeah, I think also it was a really nice touch to have Chicago Fire just appear for a second. Like,
Will you check it out now that you've?
oh yeah, now that I've predicted.
Wait, and so someone asked for you,
Yes.
Yael, would you like if Noah became a teenager?
I would hate him less. If you're talking about that disgusting line I said accidentally out of I slipped out when I was on TV Fights, that's not what I mean about kids.
Next episode is about child porn and pedophiles.
Yay!
And Hog342 said, did they ever really say that he was the father?
I mean, Rollins said that
That's
he was
what
the
I
father.
thought, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. We've been told to wrap up if you can't tell by the music, so thanks for joining us. Jesse, where can people keep up with you, and where can they tweet the promo at?
Boom. Tweet me at DJ Jesse J, and I just posted that drone thing out too, so.
Awesome. You guys can find me online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, where I'm doing a giant DVD giveaway. I'm literally giving away DVDs. So make sure you're following me at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And I have a new podcast. It's free. It's on iTunes. It's called Intimate Interrogations. Yeah, it is. Listen to it, and we'll see you here next week for more SVU. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Dun dun.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.